Hey everyone, Scott here, and I'm looking at the Holy Transfiguration Monastery Psalter. It's also known as the Boston Psalter. It is put out by the Holy Transfiguration Monastery, and it is a Orthodox Psalter based on the Septuagint. It's a green hardcover, printed in black and red ink. It's really beautiful. There's some nice little illustrations throughout. There's HTM Boston. That's why it's also known as the Boston Psalter, because that's where they are. And so for those of you who don't know me, I am not Orthodox, but I was interested in picking up an Orthodox Psalter, and this one seemed to be a popular option, so I picked it up. Little sort of introduction there, and we're in the first Psalm. And there's a lot in here that kind of gets into how the Psalms are prayed in Orthodox tradition. I'm not going to really touch on that much because I'm a Protestant and I just don't really know. But I did pray through this entire Psalter, prayed through the Psalms, last year, and just thought I'd share some of my thoughts. It is really nicely constructed, nice embossed HTM logo. Someone on Amazon, one of the reviewers, said it has a weird smell. I will say it smells a little different than any other books I have, but it doesn't bother me, so I don't know. Something to be aware of if you're thinking about picking one up. Let's look at Psalm 23, which everyone knows. However, it's Psalm 22 because it's an Orthodox Psalter and the numbering is different. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. In a place of green pasture there hath he made me to dwell. Beside the water of rest hath he nurtured me. He hath converted my soul. He hath led me on the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. For though I should walk in the midst of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they have comforted me. Thou hast prepared a table before me in the presence of them that afflict me. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, and thy cup which filleth me, how excellent it is. And thy mercy shall pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord unto length of days. So you see it's got that kind of King James style, but it's definitely not the King James. I think probably the one thing that'll really stand out for a lot of people is I will dwell in the house of the Lord unto length of days instead of forever. And that gets into how the Hebrew there is translated and interpreted. There's other translations that have a similar translation there, but that gives you a feel for, how this reads. Look at a few other examples that caught my eye. Here's one that really grabbed my attention the first time I read it, and it's down here. This is verse 15 or 16, depending on the numbering you're using. They don't have the verse numbers in here, which is worth noting, but it's really designed for reading and praying, not for doing Bible studies, really. We see here, the mountain of God is a butter mountain, a curdled mountain, a butter mountain. Why suppose ye that there be other curdled mountains? This is the mountain wherein God is pleased to dwell, yea, for the Lord will dwell therein to the end. So, butter mountain, that was unexpected. And what I found is this has to do with this being based on the Septuagint. And I don't read Hebrew, so I don't know how that is best translated, but I did find the Lexham English Septuagint, which I have here. Kind of supports that. It does it a little bit differently. It has the mountain of God is a fat mountain, the mountain having been formed is a fat mountain. Why do you think conceitedly, O formed mountain, the mountain that God was well pleased to live in it? So there's a sense there of like fat or butter or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but Butter Mountain seemed a little strange, but it may be a perfectly good translation. It just was, it definitely caught my attention when I read that. And this is the ESV Psalter. It's Psalm 68, actually. And here it's, O mountain of God, mountain of Bashan, O many peaked mountain, mountain of Bashan. So this, of course, I assume is more of the Hebrew text, where this is based on the Septuagint, which accounts for such the difference there. And just another small example of how being based on the Septuagint makes a difference. This is in Psalm 95. I believe this is 96 in the Masoretic. For all the gods of the nations are demons, but the Lord made the heavens. In the ESV, instead of all the gods of the nations are demons, we see, for all the gods of the peoples are worthless idols, but the Lord made the heavens. So, a little bit different there. And finally, let's read one more psalm just to give you a feel for this. This is Psalm 99, going to be 100 to those of us who are used to the Masoretic numbering. Shout with jubilation unto God, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with rejoicing. Know ye that the Lord himself is our God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, into his courts with hymns. Give thanks unto him. Praise his name, for the Lord is good. His mercy endureth forever, and his truth unto generation and generation. So hopefully that gives you some feel for this. My personal opinion is it's okay. It's traditional language, Septuagint based. If that sounds like something you'd want, then it's a great option. It's well constructed. There's some renderings like Butter Mountain that were a little bit odd to me. There's another one I wanted to mention. Hold on. Yes, here at the end of Psalm 26, wait on the Lord, be thou manful, and let thy heart be strengthened, and wait on the Lord. So I had never heard manful before. The Coverdale and ESV have be strong, which you could probably have guessed that was kind of the meaning there, but that was just another rendering. That was kind of interesting. I don't mind it. It just was not something I'd heard before. But yeah, I'd say overall, I prefer something like the Coverdale or the King James, even the ESV. I don't know. I am glad I checked it out and used it, but it was interesting. I don't know. I felt very drawn to use it again, but I might someday. It's staying on the shelf for now. But yeah, let me know what you think if you've used this, or if you have any thoughts after hearing a few examples from it. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Give it a like if you found this entertaining or helpful. As always, I invite you to subscribe. Thank you for watching. God bless, and we'll see you for the next one, friends.